Greetings, wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of the Julian and G.K. podcast. I'm your host, Julian, and joining me as always is my co-host, actor, comedian, and the man who I secretly think is really Serena Williams' baby daddy, G.K. What's going on, man?
Man, Serena and I both know that I got loyalty inside my DNA.
Yeah, see, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's GK all the way. But I don't blame Serena for having the billionaire be claimed as her baby daddy. I don't blame her for that at all.
And like I said last time, women can never tell me again that when they're considering dudes, money doesn't matter. Right? And it goes on all levels. And Serena already had money.
Exactly. That's this is the crazy part is I'm sure that there's some women who definitely, of course, marry for love. Like my beautiful wife, Jen, she obviously married me because I don't have anything, but she married me for love. And I have other friends who have beautiful, great wives, who marry them for love. But there are some women who like to have a lot of money in their pocket, no matter how much money they have. And Serena Williams has a lot of money. Janet Jackson, for example, has a lot of money. But both of them... But both of them married billionaires, because when you're a millionaire, you're set for the rest of your life. But to be a billionaire, that's when you know that you're just liquid. You could literally buy anything you want for the rest of your life and never have to worry about it. You don't ever have to budget. You don't have to do anything. It's like when you're a billionaire, you're just good to go for the rest of your life.
Right. I mean, come on. Salma Hayek did the same thing.
Yes.
I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus did the same thing.
Yep.
Shoot.
And there's somebody else I can't remember, but there's somebody else who was famous who married a billionaire. Oh, Mariah Carey. She married that dude that was a billionaire.
Yeah, but she did marry Nick Cannon, though.
Yeah, but that's true. But Mariah's an enigma. I think Mariah just dates and marries whoever she wants to. I think she married Nick because for some reason she found him funny. But then once that wore thin, she was like, you know what? I'm going to get me a billionaire because my career is winding down and I just want to be able to drink wine and chill all day. So let me get a billionaire.
All right, plus, there's I'm not going to call them the overachieving all-stars, but there are just some dudes that just straight up pull women, and we don't know why, just high-caliber women.
Yeah.
And put our finger on it. And if there's a Mount Rushmore of this, Nick Cannon might be on it.
Yes.
And David Spade is on it.
Yo, David Spade, oh man, who is it that they said that he's dating recently that's amazingly gorgeous that I can't remember right now? But
Naya Rivera from Glee.
Yes, that's it. Naya Rivera is literally half his age. How did he pull that? And he pulled Heather Locklear when Heather Locklear was at her peak. And he pulled all these other incredibly attractive women. And like you said, with Nick Cannon, he had Christina Milian. He had a bunch of other insanely hot women at their peak. And it's how do they do this? Because Nick Cannon and David Spade, they're C-list celebrities at best. They're not carrying a movie franchise. They're not even carrying a television show. Yet they always pull these A-list really hot women. How do they do it? I don't know.
Well, TMZ just caught up with Heather Locklear with wearing no makeup at the airport in between planes, and she shed some light on the David Spade thing. And
well, no, Heather Locklear nowadays looks rough, but Heather Locklear in the 90s, early 2000s was peak hotness, so now she looks rough, but she just she suffered from unfortunate old white lady syndrome. It's just sometimes they're very hot, and then as they get older they just age 30 years in the span of a year.
Yeah, you can't do anything about that. But to me, it's like Hall of Fame, ballots and inductions. You know what I mean? You're worthy once you're in the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could say whatever you want. I mean, you're not going to be a peak performer your entire life, but you are in the Hall of Fame, celebrating and forever honoring your level and your era of peak performance.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's more than qualified to talk about it, and I don't want to tell you what she said because then we're going to be changing the demographic of listeners.
So she said some rather unflattering things about David Spade, I'm guessing.
She said very flattering things about David Spade, which I don't want to say out loud.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to look that up after this show, because but yeah, it's I don't get how it happens, but hey, good for Serena. I'm happy that she's pregnant, and then finding out that she won the friggin' Australian Open while she was like 2 months pregnant. That's just another achievement to add on to her like legendary list of achievements. Like she's just on another planet.
I know I think she is the greatest female athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And no one can tell me if you're gonna argue that she is not. You can't argue that she's the most accomplished.
Yeah.
Female athlete of all time. To me, it's a very short list. It's got to be her. It's got to be, and you might have to Google and look this up. People, Babe Dietrichson.
Yeah.
Who I guess in short was a actual former wrestler and was so good of a golfer, and she also founded the LPGA.
Yeah, yeah.
So back when and I used to be obsessed with all the countdown shows and greatest of shows at the end of the millennium in high school because I don't know, I thought those things all meant something.
Yeah, I did too. I still watch those shows if I see a repeat come on, like ESPN Classic. I live for that stuff.
Yeah, I'm like AFI's top 100 films of all time, American films of all time. I'm like, I've still never seen Citizen Kane.
Well, okay, what? You haven't seen Citizen Kane?
Right, but if they say that's number one, I guess I'll go. I'm not gonna say it's not.
All right, I gotta show you Citizen Kane next time we hang out.
I mean, well, in the 2000s when they did all those countdown shows, I did. That's when I started to like. Okay, every show became a countdown.
Mm-hmm.
So then it just lost a lot of its luster.
Yeah.
But when Sports Center and ESPN were doing the Sports Century 50 greatest athletes of the 20th century, I was hooked.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was watching history.
Mm-hmm.
And Babe Dietrichson is number 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of all time. And I'm talking about name your favorite athletes of all time.
Yeah.
Name all of them. I'm telling you, she ranked higher than Kareem, Bill Russell, Magic Johnson. O.J. Simpson was 49.
Wow. Probably would have been higher if not for the whole double murder thing.
Gordie Howe. Like, yeah, I'm naming all this stuff off the top of my head. Like, that's how much I watched this 20 years ago live as it happened. Yeah. And I haven't watched it since. Yet I still remember this. I think I can still tell you the top 5. I think it's in order.
Mm-hmm. What was it? Do you remember?
Yes. That's how sad this is.
No, that's not sad. I'm actually very curious. Like, I want to know.
I was smart in the 90s. I could also tell you the 50 greatest NBA players that they named in 1996. I could tell you them all right now. But I don't know. I don't remember the periodic table of elements. I can't even tell you all 45 presidents.
Yeah, but the top 50 NBA players of all time you can recite easily.
Yeah, exactly. What? I don't know what's wrong with me.
No, you're a sports fan.
I think I'm not even going to Google this or nothing. I think number 5 is Jim Thorpe.
Mm-hmm.
I think number 4 is Jim Brown.
Okay.
Number 3 is Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
And number 1 is Michael Jordan.
Oh wow! I would have thought that Muhammad Ali was number 1. Like I mean I love Michael Jordan. Like I think he's he's rightfully known as the greatest basketball player of all time. And people try to put LeBron or other people ahead of him. And yeah, they're great, but they're not Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan's the greatest. But to me, Muhammad Ali, I would think is number 1. But I mean, you can't really argue against Jordan being number 1 either. He is like the most influential athlete ever, probably besides Ali.
Well, remember, this is 1999.
Yeah.
So this is when Jordan's career just ended with the follow-through, Game 6 in 98. And he was just the Bulls, and that's it.
Oh, yeah. That's so everyone was still in the honeymoon phase with Jordan, about to miss him. Like, kind of like what we're doing right now with LeBron, where, everyone's starting to think that he's the greatest of all time because of his crazy accomplishments, including that other day against Indiana when he led them back from 25 down, like the monster that he is. And so I guess people tend to get caught up in the moment, in the present.
Yeah, I mean, there's still hate and resistance towards LeBron, and it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. I can only just chalk it up to this whack, this new social media era, man. It's just, I mean, you're really not getting a chance to fully appreciate him while he's here.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, I'm not gonna. We'll say our opinions of who's greater, who's not for other shows.
Yeah.
But I will say these are facts This dude has won 20 straight first rounds. The first round is light work to him. He's won 11 straight.
Yeah.
First round matchups. Mm-hmm. He was probably going to be to a 7th straight NBA final.
Yeah. That's insane.
And this dude just surpassed Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal for all-time playoff point.
Yeah, and the crazy part is that he's still...
Jordan's less than 100 points away. He's in playoff points.
Yeah, and the crazy part is that he is not known as a scorer. Like he is a great scorer, but when people think of LeBron James, they think of him as like one of probably the greatest all-around player of all time because he gets his teammates involved, because he rebounds, because he knows every facet of the game. But people kind of forget he is one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen. When LeBron wants to score 40, 50 points a game, he is more than capable of doing it.
I mean, look, and you already know how much I love basketball. So I remember, the last time I had a day job, and it was a slow day or whatever. So I started arguing with one of my boys there who was working there, and we're trying to come up with the next 10 greatest players of all time.
Yeah.
Add to the 50 that they named in 1996.
Yeah.
So I think we had to spread it to 15 because there was just too many people. So we're looking at. So I was trying to make a case for Carmelo, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because there are some people that you just have to put without question that weren't on the original list.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal was on the original list, even though he's only 4 years in the league.
Yeah, which is nuts when you think about it. But I mean, it's correct, like, because he did wind up being one of the greatest to ever play the game. But that just shows you like the type of impact Shaq had, that he was only 4 years in the league and was named one of the 50 greatest players of all time in their history.
Right, literally only Orlando Magic Shaq.
Yeah.
They said we're one of the 50 greatest players of all time. And they left out people like Dominique Wilkins and Bob McAdoo. For him, people that had full careers.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so, but if they're going to add at least 10 more, like LeBron's there. It's LeBron, Kobe, KG, Reggie, AI, Dirk. You know, like those names are there. That goes without saying.
Yeah.
Wade.
Yeah.
Those go without saying. So I was trying to, but there were some people that were kind of iffy around the end, like Ray Allen, Dwight Howard. You know what I mean? So, and yes, I said Dwight Howard. Look at his accomplishments.
I don't know about Dwight Howard. I'd put like someone like Jason Kidd or someone ahead of Dwight Howard.
Yeah, I know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you think that this is easy, but when we spread it to 15,
yeah,
we were like, we were getting hung up on a few, like Chris Webber, like we're getting hung up on a few.
Yeah.
Carter, Tracy McGrady, we're getting hung up on a few. So I remember I was making a case for Melo, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, Melo's one of the greatest scorers of all time, one of the most elite scorers of all time. And then someone else made the point, like, yeah, but he played the same position as LeBron, so can't really and his accomplishments don't compare nothing to LeBron's.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're gonna tell me that LeBron is a better scorer than Carmelo? Shoot. So then we went to Basketball References to check out their all-time stats.
Yeah.
LeBron is a better scorer than Carmelo Anthony in every single way.
Yes.
Has more points, has more career points, and shoots a better percentage. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The thing with LeBron that's so crazy is that you don't think of him as a scorer, but every year he's like around that 25 to like 28 points a game mark. Like he rarely goes like lower than 25 points a game. So it's like you don't think of him as a scorer, but he's consistently in the top 10 in scoring. And it just shows, like when, like you said, someone like Melo, who's known as a scorer, but LeBron still scores more than them.
Right, man. That's what I'm saying. People just don't get it, and people don't understand. No one has ever been this elite great. No one has been top 5 in the league for 13 years straight.
Yeah.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody, man.
No, nobody. Like he is, like his longevity and the way that he is, like
he came into the league and was already a top 10 dude.
Exactly.
And the only reason why he didn't make the All-Star team was because the older coaches and players were hating.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because when you look, at the stats, of that rookie year, he was easily one of the top 10 players in the East, easily. But
ultimately, it's the fans' fault for not voting him in.
Yeah, which is crazy when you think about it, because he was really popular at the time when he came in. So I was really amazed that he didn't get voted. But like at the time, we still had a lot of people still in the East that were popular, like Allen Iverson and people like that. But I'm still surprised that he didn't get voted in.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You can't say that LeBron Jamal McGlure did.
Yeah, exactly.
With 3 A's in Jamal McGlure. And then I found out he was Canadian, so he was a Canadian Jamal McGlure.
Exactly. So it's just it's
Jamal McGlure. I mean, NBA All-Star, NBA All-Star. I'll take it. Hey.
Exactly. Hey, that's a nice accomplishment on your resume. Well, but yeah, for LeBron to, like you said, he's probably going to be in his 7th straight final, and he's just been in the playoffs consistently for about over 10 years now. Like I can't think of anyone else. I mean, Jordan probably, like, if he hadn't gone on that baseball sabbatical, would have probably been doing the same thing. He'd probably gone to 8 straight finals, but still, like, for LeBron to do this it's amazing.
Right. And also, like, I guess the last point I've been trying to make, and it hit me. So like, all the dust-ups and all the complaints from media and fans during and towards the end of the season about star players taking games off for rest.
Yeah.
And then all the old school guys like talking about, man, this new generation is punks. They weak.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't need rest. The whole old school get off my lawn. The same speech that we used to get.
Yeah.
From our grandparents and uncles, like, man, what, you don't want to take the bus to school, man? When I was your age, man, we have to walk 3 miles uphill. In my skirt, we have to walk the goats. You want to ride the bus? We have to ride a tricycle up the hill with the goats to school.
Yeah, barefoot, of course. Don't forget that part.
Right. So it's kind of like that. But so what I've realized is, and I'm actually gonna defend. And come on, I'm a get off my lawn dude myself. You know this. I'm old school.
Yeah.
I'm old school to the end.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably still prefer a dial-up modem, even though I know dial-up modems are so much worse.
Yeah.
The NBA game right now is so much. It's so much different, and it's so much more spread out.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day, the NBA that we love and that everybody's defending and that they say that they want back. I've been trying to make the point for years and years and years and years. You think that because you have a soft spot, nostalgic spot for it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm a wrestling fan. I know how that feels. But you really don't want to sit through those 3-hour, 4-hour games where people are getting hand-checked, can't move. The guys aren't really that skilled, and the final score is in the 70s.
Exactly.
We're Knicks fans from the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
I love that, but also we are Knicks fans. If you're not a Knicks fan,
yeah,
are you really trying to watch those Knicks versus Miami Heat series?
No, those were.
You know what I mean? Like we loved it. I mean, because we hated it was us.
Yeah.
I mean, and Patrick Ewing is still my guy. He's still my spirit animal.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still my hero. He's like my only hero left. Yeah. Shots at you, Hogan. So with the NBA now and what happened in the early 2000s when they kept drafting those high school kids that they couldn't play, but gave them guaranteed money, and everybody was just coming off Michael Jordan. So pretty much everybody that's coming into the league were skinny, underdeveloped, prepubescent, 6'6" and up.
Yeah.
Right, where all they did was shoot fadeaways and dunk. Mm-hmm. Everybody wanted to come into the league and be a superstar, shooting 11 for 32.
Yeah.
Right. And it was terrible. Right, and it was terrible for the game. Mm-hmm. The only reason it was watchable because you had guys like Kobe who were damn good.
Yeah.
Being volume shooters and scorers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Jordan had you thinking, like that was greatness in the NBA.
Yeah.
Or that's what the great basketball you should be able to play. Mm-hmm. But then the European influx came in. Mm-hmm. Then they opened up the court. They took away they added the defensive 3 seconds, so you can't have big lugs standing in the lane all day in the rim. So what it did was, and athletes got bigger, better, faster, stronger.
Yep.
And also a result of Europeans coming in way more skilled. Mm-hmm. So you can't just be Steve Novak anymore. You can't just be a guy who has one. You can still be a specialist.
Yeah.
Be able to be a specialist and at least defend. You can still be a specialist, but you better be a specialist and at least be able to dribble. You can't have stiffs anymore.
Exactly. You have to be able to move. The game's too fast now. Like, even the centers have to move. Like,
right. So I was watching Kobe a couple weeks ago, and they asked him about what he felt about the rest, and he said, "Look, back in my day, and I learned it from MJ. Great players, the best players, the most talented players, know how to rest during games. Like, for example, if we're doing like a third night, if we're doing a third game on a fourth night or something like that, I would down.
Yeah.
Because that's less movement.
Yep.
And then I'll be fresher for the next day. Like, the great players think of stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But in this day and age, in this era, where everything is so spread out and everybody can shoot,
mm-hmm.
you can't. And the ball and everything is all about ball movement and spacing.
Yeah.
And they include spacing with the centers and the power forwards. If you can be 6'10" and up, and now you can shoot threes.
Mm-hmm.
That means the big guys have to go out there. They have to defend that. So the guys now have to cover a lot more ground, and they have to be quicker on their feet all the time. So basically, it is from an athletic standpoint, from a straight up athletic, cardio, physical standpoint, not from a contact standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
From a straight endurance standpoint, the NBA is the hardest and most taxing it's ever been.
Yeah.
Guys are out there. Yes, it's better travel. Yes, it's better nutrition, and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
These guys have to cover the whole floor at all times.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that point that this is a much faster game. It is not the way that it was back in the 80s, 90s, where it was slower, half court type game. These guys are running. Like, basically every team in this generation is like the 2005 Suns, where it's just like nonstop, because that they really ushered in this current NBA, where everyone is running and gunning like all the time. And it's like even teams like Memphis, who were notorious for their grit and grind and being in the post or whatever, they put Zach Randolph on the bench because they had to get faster, and because that's just the way that the modern NBA is. And it's a thing where I agree with you, that players need more rest now because of the way it is. What I do think they should do, though, is that they should have assigned rest days, simply for the fans, because I just think it's kind of messed up. If you go to a game, and you saved up your money and you're and you spent, because some of these prices are ridiculous, and you paid your $500, $600, $700, so you get a really good seat at the game to see LeBron James, and you're all hyped to see LeBron or whoever's the superstar, Steph Curry, whoever's in town, and then you get there and they're like, oh, this person's not playing tonight because of rest. Like that game that San Antonio and the Warriors had early this year, where literally every single star sat. If I was a fan, I would have demanded a refund, because that is crazy. Not one star was in the game. Not Steph, not KD, not Kawhi. Nobody played that game except all the bench players. And it's if you're a fan and you come to and pay your money to see nothing but bench players, you're going to be a little pissed, So I think that rest is definitely necessary in today's NBA. I just feel like they should announce beforehand, okay, these are the days that LeBron is going to get his rest in, or these are the days that Steph is going to get his rest in, so fans can then decide if they want to go to those games or not.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that, but I think it's more in the NBA. You just have to make better schedules.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's, and also some of these schedules are just brutal. Especially giving whatever. There's some teams that, like you said, they're playing 3 games in 4 nights, and that's torture in today's NBA.
Yeah, man, and the NBA needs to work. That's one thing the NBA needs to work on. They need to work on that. I was on board at first, but I'm really not digging this idea of having the NBA awards.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, it's really not. I mean, I didn't like giving the MVP away within the first round or 2.
No, but
I see no problem giving away all the other awards during the playoffs.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But also, man, even the NHL, college basketball fans and the tournament's fun, but just get off my lawn. Do not tell me that basketball is as good as this NBA playoff basketball.
Oh yeah.
This is the best basketball.
Of course, it's not even close. Anybody who tries to say that college basketball is better than NBA basketball is just hating on the NBA, because they don't the bravado and some of the stuff of the NBA players. So they oh, the college game is how it's supposed to be played. All right, but it's not as fun to watch. It just isn't. There's no league in the world that, to me, that's as fun as the NBA. And I'm talking about throughout any sport, and I love all sports. I love soccer, I love hockey, I love everything. But there's no more exciting game to watch than a good NBA game, featuring athletes just doing ridiculous things with their body that no human person should be able to do.
Right, and to your point, you probably future Hall of Famer, maybe not first ballot, but future Hall of Famer Zach Randolph.
Mm-hmm.
They made him swallow his pride and come off the bench.
Yeah.
Like, yo, 6'10", zero, double, man. Like you can't be out there like that, man. Like, we need to be fast. We need to be able to keep up with these other teams.
Exactly, because his style of play would not adapt to it, so they had to move. And then what they do is they put him up against team's second unit, where he's able to feast. So he's still able to get a good average and still contribute, but against like the first units, like he was way too slow. You could see it last year when Memphis was playing, and that's why Memphis didn't do so well last year, because he was getting torched by these other teams. But now they have him coming off the bench and he's more productive, because you can't play that slow style of play in today's NBA. Those days are long gone.
But you have to put your best out there, and you have to put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
So once the playoffs started, and they have to play the Spurs, and the Spurs mollywopped them in Game 1.
Yeah.
Because they was like, I know what to do. Put Zach in the starting lineup again. Like, yo, you out there, grind them.
Yep.
Old school, just old man them to death.
Exactly, because if there's one team that's
tied it too.
Exactly, because if there's one team that's going to work against, it's the Spurs. Because the Spurs, like the Spurs are, well, they've always been kind of an enigma in the NBA, because like they still have like a more slower pace than a lot of teams. Like they've quickened up a lot, because especially due to Kawhi and like some of the other younger players they've gotten, but they still have that slower style of play, and they're one of the few teams that have done it and stayed successful. But really, that's because of Popovich. Like I've said it before, I think Popovich could take like the 12 worst players in the NBA and make them like be almost playoff contenders, because that's how good of a coach he is.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I no disrespect to him at all. Danny Green would not be in the NBA
yeah.
if it weren't for Greg Popovich.
Exactly. If
you don't believe me, look it up. And if you don't really believe me, watch Danny Green play basketball.
Exactly. It's true. Like Popovich is basically the Bill Belichick of the NBA, where they can get anybody. They'll see a guy that everybody else is like, no, that guy's no good, and they'll see one thing that guy does exceptionally well, and they're like, I'll take him for like $1 million, $2 million a year, and they'll turn him into a fantastic role player.
Right. I mean, the crazy NBA schedule. So basically, the NBA has just set a new record for attendance this season.
Yeah.
But it's not a record low, but it's the lowest TV ratings that they've had overall in a long time, which is not good for the multi-billion-dollar contract they just signed.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago for their CBA.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the low ratings, honestly, is due to it being so much basketball. It's like, I remember back like when we were growing up and we were kids, we had the NBA on NBC like on Sundays, and that was like the big time. And then once in a while they throw you a bone and throw another game on during the week. But that was it. Like, that's all you had. Nowadays, it's like we have NBA TV. You have they have a deal with ESPN. They have a deal with TNT. They have a deal with ABC. So it's like literally, I feel like every day there's a basketball game on. Like, I don't even feel like I used to get League Pass all the way back in the day. I don't even get League Pass anymore, because there's literally games on every night of the week. So it's like, I feel like it's just like kind of oversaturation, where people don't really watch the way they used to watch for these games, because there's literally a game on, a good game on every day of the week.
Right, and we live in New York, so of course we can watch. We're gonna watch every next game.
Yeah.
And watch every Brooklyn game if we wanted to.
Exactly.
But also, I really feel like I've watched every Cavalier game.
Yeah, exactly.
Watched every Golden State game, and I've watched every Laker game.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel too. I feel like I've seen all those games, and I don't have League Pass. It's literally on every week. There's there's at least 3 or 4 Golden State games on one of the channels, either NBA TV, TNT, ESPN, one of them. So I did not miss anything.
Yeah, and one last thing, until I mean, we'll see how it plays out. Mm-hmm. And people that are complaining like, oh, there's no storylines. It's so predictable. It's going to happen. It's going to be Cleveland and Golden State again.
Yeah.
So first of all, if you can't get into the season Russell Westbrook had, if you can't get into the season James Harden had, I can't think of any other time where there are so many great, talented players.
Yes, it's
at
unbelievable.
the same time, like, I can't vouch for many teams, but I can vouch for a hell of a lot of individual basketball greats out there. Like, they're great even before they know they're great. They're just out there balling.
Yeah.
Balling at the highest and probably most all-around level that it's ever been.
Yeah.
I feel like feel like I know I told you before the season started that I don't think Golden State's going to win. I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how. I mean, like maybe there's an injury, something like I mean, not that I'm wishing that.
Well, KD keeps having issues. Like he's been missing the last couple of games. I don't think he's going to be long for the playoffs. He keeps having these injury issues this year.
I think even if it's not good for him in the long term, I think from a pride standpoint, he'd still play.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll be as effective.
If he's not 100%.
Yeah.
But what's it called? I figured out what Cleveland and Golden State have both shown me this year. Not that the regular season doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But the regular season really doesn't mean that much to them, right? Like the Celtics are probably the weakest number one seed I've ever seen. Yeah. And Cleveland, they clearly feel like they have an on and off switch. But I guess you've earned the right to have it if you won a championship and you have LeBron.
Yeah.
Following LeBron's lead.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I realized with Golden State is, so Golden State just had the greatest 3-season run in the history of the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
More wins than any, even Jordan's three-peats.
Yeah.
They didn't win this many games.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured it out, especially after Durant went out, and then they had to go beat the Golden State Warriors they were before they got them, and then it took them a few games to figure out. Then they started dominating the league again.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is the NBA schedule is so crazy. It's so crazy. You're playing 4 or 5 nights a week, which means you're playing in 3 to 4 different cities a week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like flying all across the country, waking up, doing shoot-arounds, I mean, how some of these guys still find time to party at night? And I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a superior athlete like that, so I guess I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Also with great resources, trainers, all that stuff. But they have to fight. They have to go against the elite competition in every night. But people are so focused on themselves as getting through the season, they're really not spending that much time preparing for the next opponent. Definitely not with the same focus and detail that they prepare for playoffs because you're playing the same team.
Yeah.
Essentially 7 times. Mm-hmm. So Golden State has pretty much become the ultimate pickup basketball team.
Yeah.
If you throw coaches and you throw playbooks and all that stuff out the window,
mm-hmm.
State is just going to dominate because Golden State is they're a team that can defend, but they're a team that can just roast you offensively. They're just built to do it. And no team, unless you're a team that has a week or so to focus on them, or you have a playoff series coming up against them, this team is just going to show up in your city, or you're just going to show up in their city, like right off the plane, and then you get there. They're going to blow the doors off you.
Yeah.
They're built to do. They're the ultimate pickup basketball team.
Yeah.
Exactly what they are. Yeah. So if you take strategies and schemes and all that out the window, and it's just basketball, it's just time to hoop.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a 3-point line. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's what this team is built to do. I still feel that they're extremely beatable if you game plan for them, and if you have good coaching and you know their tendencies and you have a great defensive team. Like I still think if you have time to work that out, you could disrupt them and beat them, as Cleveland proved last season.
Yeah.
But if we're just talking regular season, like I'm collecting checks, I'm flying across the country. Damn, I'm tired. But I gotta play again. All right, let's go on the court. Let's do this. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, and then the ball goes up. Yeah, Golden State's gonna roast you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right. Like, and that's the thing. I felt the same way. I thought that Golden State would be kind of vulnerable in these playoffs, and I did not pick them to win. I actually picked the Clippers this year, but that's kind of out the windows with Blake Griffin's injury. But with Blake Griffin's injury, that's pretty much done. But I still don't think that it's going to be the Warriors this year. I mean, I'm more leaning towards LeBron because I think or even the Spurs. I think the Spurs are kind of in a dogfight right now with the Grizzlies, but I think they'll come out on top. And the way Kawhi Leonard's been playing lately, if he plays like that against Golden State, they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Man, he spent one summer with Kobe, and now he is just...
It's incredible. He got drafted because of his defensive prowess and how good he is on defense, and then he decided, oh, you know what? I'm going to be Scottie Pippen on defense, and I'm going to be Kobe Bryant on offense, and it's ridiculous.
Man, son, come on. He won the NBA Finals MVP because he gentleman swept LeBron out of the finals, out of Miami.
Yes.
He didn't even know how to score yet. He only averaged 15, 16 points a game.
Exactly.
Now he's averaging damn near 30 points a game.
Yes.
Why? Because he spent a couple weeks with Kobe.
Yo, it's insane. Like it's scary to think about how much better he can get. He's already the best defensive player in the league, and then if you add on like the offensive skills he's been like displaying lately, like to me he is the guy after LeBron. Like he is second in the league in my eyes, like as far as like who's next to LeBron. Like people want to give KD that mantle. I'm not giving KD that mantle. I would give it to Kawhi, especially if he continues on this offensive pace that he's been going.
Oh yeah, man. But real quick, who's your MVP?
Oh, Russell.
Oh yeah, that's not even a debate, though. I mean, if you don't believe us, I mean, he probably only has one game left because they're down 3-1.
Yeah.
And I know he's going against James Harden.
Yeah.
But look what he has around him. Nothing.
He has nothing, and that's the thing. People keep wanting to say, "Oh, but James Harden, his team is a 3 seed, and they shouldn't even been that high." And blah blah. And don't get me wrong, James Harden had a phenomenal season, and in most other seasons, he would be the runaway MVP. But Russell Westbrook took a team that literally all of them are just vastly underperforming. Like Victor Oladipo shooting like 20% or something like in some games. Like Steven Adams was supposed to be the next great center, and he's vastly underachieving. But Westbrook is he literally dragged these guys into the playoffs, averaging a triple-double, which hasn't been done in 50 years, and while averaging like almost 30 points a game. No, I think more than 30 points a game. Like it's unbelievable. We are probably never going to see something again like this in our lifetimes. If he does not get the MVP, it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be like when Oscar didn't get the MVP and he averaged a triple-double, and people said for years how it was ridiculous because Bill Russell won it because the Celtics won the championship and all that, which was great. But Oscar Robertson should have won that year. And if Russell Westbrook loses this 50 years from now, people are going to look back at at this MVP race and says, how did the guy that averaged a triple-double and dragged that team of scrubs to a 6 seed not get MVP?
Man, look, and also that year, 61-62, that was the year Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 points and averaged 25 rebounds.
Exactly. Like
he didn't win the MVP.
Exactly. And they gave it to Bill Russell, who averaged 18 and 24. And it's like, what? And don't get me wrong, 18 and 24 is still an incredible stat line, but not when you had Oscar Robertson averaging 31, 13 and 11, and you had Wilt Chamberlain averaging 50 and 25. How do they not get the MVP? It's mind blowing.
Right. It's who had the best season. It's not the best player in the league award. It's who had the best regular season award.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And then I see some people like, oh, this first round matchup, that's going to determine who gets the MVP. No, it's not. That's not what the MVP is about. The MVP is who is the best player in the regular season.
He's 6'3", my dude. Yes. I know that I'm 6'3". I'm little. and I'm little in NBA land, in real baller land. I'm little. I'm an ogre in real life, but I'm little.
Yeah, in basketball world, 6'3" is nothing, and Russell Westbrook is dominating it like he is like he is 7'2" or something. It's ridiculous.
Right, they list him at 200 pounds. We just went on and on about how hard the NBA travel schedule and how much of a grind it is.
Yeah.
This dude averages over 10 rebounds a game at 6'3". It's not like he's averaging a triple-double where he's averaging 9.2, 9.3, 9.7, and they're being nice and they're rounding up.
Yeah.
He's averaging over 30 points a game, over 10 rebounds a game, over 11 assists per game. And people that say that he's a ball hog, he has nothing to work with, he really doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't. There were nights he had to take over because this is the thing. I think a lot of people that say this don't actually watch the OKC games. Because when I watch the OKC games, this is what I see. I see Westbrook in the first 3 quarters trying his best to get his teammates involved, and they consistently let him down until he just says, you know what, screw this. We're down by 5. I want to win this game. I'm going to take over. And that's when he goes into supreme ball hog mode because he has to. He doesn't have a choice. Like with Kobe, I'm not a big fan of Kobe, but Kobe during that 2006 season, it was after Shaq left and he was with the Heat, and Kobe had nobody. That's before Gasol came, that's before Bynum came or whatever. And people said, oh, Kobe's a ball hog. And I'm like, yeah, Kobe has to be a ball hog because he's playing with Smush Parker and all these other dudes that shouldn't be in the NBA, let alone the D League. They shouldn't be anywhere.
That's what I'm saying, man. This dude, he has no shooters in the shooters league. How do you average 11 assists a game?
Exactly. They had to make a deal just to get...
Who you're playing against or where you're playing or what night of the the week it is, or how many back-to-backs you had before it.
Yeah.
And on top of it, they should be a lottery team. But no, when he has a triple-double, they've only lost 10 games, and they've won 34, 35 games. And he came into the playoffs, and then they got smacked in game one. So he had over 50 points in game two. They lost with a triple-double. This past game, he had a triple-double in the first half. They lost.
Exactly. A triple-double in the first half. Do you understand how insane that is?
Playoffs, my dude. Playing against a team that's not played against you for the fourth night in a row.
Oh my
so
God.
they know all your stuff.
Exactly.
And you're still getting triple-doubles on them.
Oh my, insane. I don't understand how anybody could say it's anybody other than Russell Westbrook. Like, and don't get me wrong, like Harden had a phenomenal year, Kawhi had a phenomenal year, LeBron is always an MVP candidate because he's just phenomenal. But this is a historical season. This is something we are probably never going to see again. You cannot not give Russell Westbrook the MVP. You just can't. He easily deserves it.
Man, when he won that game against Denver to not only knock Denver out of the playoffs, but he scored 57 points and hit the game winner at the buzzer from damn near half court.
Yes, that sealed it. That sealed it to me. Like any.
Come on, man. That's one of the greatest individual performances you could ever see.
Exactly.
In anything.
Yes, it's unbelievable because the thing that's phenomenal about him, this dude isn't just averaging triple doubles with like what I'd call like a Rondo triple double, where like Rondo would get like 15 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds, like, which is a nice stat line and a great triple double. But no, Russell Westbrook is like, I'm going to put up 55 points, like 18 assists and 13 rebounds. Like, it's just like mind blowing stats. It doesn't even look right. It looks like video game stats. It doesn't look like something that would happen in real life.
Right, that's what people got to pay attention to. I mean, Draymond Green had a game this year where he had a triple-double and only 7 points.
Exactly.
Like, what?
Yes.
Yeah, he had 10 blocks. He had over 10 blocks, 10 steals, and over 10 rebounds.
That was an amazing stat line. Like, you almost had a damn quadruple-double, but the thing he was missing was points. Points are usually the easiest thing to get in a triple-double, and that's the only thing he was lacking to get a quadruple-double.
Man, I just can't get enough of these playoffs, man. Even the NHL playoffs too, man. Shout out to the Rangers, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
It's about to be Penguins and Capitals again. Like, I'm telling you, man. This is
the best time of the year for sports fans. Like, and the NHL playoffs are always, like, I think underrated. They get overshadowed by the NBA playoffs, but they've been really exciting this year. If you're not watching the NHL playoffs, you're missing out.
Yeah, man. We need more jammy contenders, man. Because so far, I mean, this is a dead giveaway because I have the feeling it'll be topped, during the year. But I don't know. I mean, come on, El Clasico.
Oh, that was an amazing game. Amazing.
And I know we're a few weeks behind, but yo, man, I'm telling you, man. Mississippi State.
Yeah. Oh my
ruining
God.
the UConn's women.
Yes.
What was it,
111. Yes, exactly. Like
at the buzzer.
Oh my God.
Come on, man.
Amazing.
But also, they pulled a Serena. No, not Serena. The from the U.S. Open last year. The Italian girl who beat her.
Oh yeah.
Right. That was just so big, and they made all that hoopla about her winning in the semifinal. Mm. There was no way she was going to win the final. Yeah. Same thing just happened in Mississippi State. You beat UConn in the semifinal game.
Yeah.
Of course, you have nothing left in the final game. And the girl who beat UConn, for some reason, her damn coach sat her in the second half, like the whole second half.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
Right. That's what makes the 1980 Miracle on Ice that much more miraculous.
Yeah, that they beat because people forget that they did not win, the gold by beating the Russians. They just they beat them, the USSR, to get to the finals, right. and then they had to win another game. And it's like, honestly, just beating the USSR at that time was like winning the gold medal. That was an amazing accomplishment because they were pretty much like the Golden State Warriors and the Cavs combined into one mega team against the rest of the NBA. That would be what the USSR in world hockey was at the time. Just like an unstoppable juggernaut. And America beat them and then had to beat another really good team to win the gold.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you reset human nature and go through all that, something you've never gone through before, and still get ready to win the gold medal game after that? People don't realize that. I mean, the Bill Buckner ground ball, that was game 6.
Yes, and then they had to come back game 7 and they won it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so people really need to get their history down, man.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry, we'll teach them. We'll teach them. That's what we're here for.
We're not just wrestling, man. Yeah, we're Jamaican Alpha, but we know stuff.
Exactly. We teach you about life on this podcast, about sports, relationships. What do you want? You want movies? We do it all.
Yeah, we got you, man. Photosynthesis.
Exactly. You need help with your science homework? We got you.
Yeah, we got you. Yeah, we got it all, son. Mammograms.
Yes, free screenings for everyone.
Buddy, man.
Yeah.
Got an aisle in the store for everybody. It's a shopping spree right here in the Julian and G.K podcast, you dig?
Exactly. So we've I think we got really excited about our basketball topic. So we'll move on from that and we'll go into the main topic of this podcast, which is we're going to talk about WrestleMania 33 and the superstar shakeup that happened. Just real quick, what were your general thoughts about WrestleMania 33? You came over to Casa de Julian with my beautiful wife Jenny and my beautiful little girl, and we watched a WrestleMania together. So I kind of know your thoughts, but share it with the people. What did you think of WrestleMania 33?
Right, baby's first WrestleMania, man.
Yeah, exactly. It was a momentous occasion. We got her first birthday coming up. No, her real first birthday was WrestleMania.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And she knows.
Yeah, she knows.
She knows it was a big deal. I can see it in her eyes. It's like she still can't talk yet, but she looked at me like, you guys went to WrestleMania 4 years ago, didn't you?
Exactly.
You all went to MetLife Stadium on this day 4 years ago, didn't you? I mean, I wasn't there, but, I just feel like you did. I was like, Juliet, you're right, man.
Exactly. She knew. She
understands the WrestleMania feel. She understands the grandest stage of them all. She gets it. She feels it.
Exactly. She was all into it until she had to take her power nap halfway through WrestleMania.
Yeah, in her defense, we probably all should take a power nap because it was damn 8 hours.
Yes, exactly. She did what we wanted to do, but we're are incapable of doing, and that is take a nap during that 8-hour long extravaganza.
And I mean, look, and look, we got to be real, man. Come on, tell the people how you really felt when we're watching all the pre-show stuff, and we're like, yo, why is Rosenberg and Sam Roberts out there in tuxes?
Yo, that should be us. It should be us. I'm sorry. And yes, I'm being a super hater right now, but Sam Roberts in a tuxedo just looks all kinds of weird. And I'm just saying, my man GK, he's an actor, comedian, he's suave. Come on, WWE, you need to put him on the pre-show next year. Sam Roberts, love the guy, love his podcast. He can do something else for you, in studio. But at WrestleMania, you need GK. I'm starting the petition from now. GK for WrestleMania 34.
Please want us in tuxes. You know what I'm saying? At least. We're a better look. At least.
Exactly. Just put us in tuxes. I'm going to send them some some stills from my wedding, that you were in, showing our tux game off.
Exactly. Shouts to them again. We're all hustlers. Get in where you fit in. Good job. Sincerely, good job.
Yeah.
I mean, but damn it.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the haterade came out. Because I've been a fan of Rosenberg for a while, and I like Sam Roberts. But once I saw them on the getting to walk down the WrestleMania ramp, the hate that was flowing inside of my blood was strong.
I'm sorry, because I already told you, my dream wasn't really playing the NBA. My dream was really to play in the MTV Rocket Jock B-Ball Gym.
Yes.
And I'm really feeling it now, especially since I saw Rosenberg play in the only kind of version of it now, which is the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game.
Yes, exactly. That was the dream growing up, to play in the Rock and Jock games.
Exactly, man. And now, now I'm getting old, man.
Exactly.
Not only may I never get there, but I may never get there in time.
Exactly. No, I think you'll have time. They throw in the old celebrities out there. But the thing is that you're going to get there, but you're going to get there when you're past your prime. So you're not going to be able.
Past my prime.
No, I mean, you're still going to ball out on these dudes. I mean, did you watch the Celebrity Game? I mean, really, you'll average 50 points a game in the Celebrity Game. But it has to happen soon. We got to get you there soon. We can't wait another 5 years.
Dudes can't play. I mean, come on. I get why O'Shea Jackson Jr. plays, but don't get on the court acting like you know how to play. They get on the court and be whack.
Exactly. That's the funniest thing, when all the celebrities talk junk before the game and they get on the court and they look like I can't even describe it. Just they have not picked up a basketball a day in their life before that day.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Look. We all love your daddy. All right? Ice Cube is the dude. All right? We know this. I saw him at Afro Punk in Brooklyn last year live. I skipped the VMAs to watch him in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Live in a yard, in a field. Right? Look, Ice Cube is the man, and I can't wait to watch his 3-on-3 league when it comes out this summer.
Oh yeah, that's going to be dope.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. Just because your dad wrote one of the best rap songs of all time, Today Was a Good Day, and then he somehow messed around and got a triple-double during a pickup game where they don't need to keep stats.
Yeah, exactly. I always wondered that. How do you know he had a triple double? I don't know how many points or anything I score in a pickup game. I'm just trying to win.
Son, like, yo, let me tell you this really true, like, this true story. So back when I was playing in college, right, on my college team. So my junior year, there was this freshman kid from Staten Island, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'm not gonna knock his determination, right? But you know, like he used to count all his own stats, right?
Yeah.
Like so we'd be in there like like da 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 da, and then all of a sudden like I hear like one, and then like two, like da da da, like two, and then like the next day you'd be like, okay, so now I'm averaging 5. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? It's like, yo, man, I'm taking stats, man. Like, yo, like I just made like 5 buckets in a row. I'm like, dude, we're in layup lines. Like, yo, like what? That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, I don't know. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I think O'Shea Jackson Jr. was thinking, man. Like, yo. Like, yo, like I'll just write 16 bars about it and visually, and then it doesn't matter what stat sheet says. I'm going to be Russell Westbrook at the end of this, and then get on the court and be whack.
Yo, damn. See, this is what I'm saying, man. No, we need to get you on. We need to get you. So that's 2 things we have to get you on. We have to get you on a celebrity game, and then we have to get you on the WrestleMania pre-show.
Right, and I got a good game, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm like a 6'3" LaMarcus Aldridge right now. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I got the J, I got the 3-point range, and I got that back to the basket game. And I actually passed the ball.
Yes, exactly.
And I said picks. I'm telling you, man, I'm a team player. I'm telling you, man. I would not make the game worse. And I'm telling you, you know how whack you have to be to make these celebrity games even worse?
Yes, exactly. Like it's you have to be really bad to not do well in a celebrity game.
Come on, man. Do you know how hard it is to just sit on the couch and watch damn Win Butler from Arcade Fire like win the MVP every year?
Word. Oh God, we have to stop. We have to stop it. We have to get you on this game, like so it can actually.
WrestleMania. Sorry. Well, first of all, I think the most important thing to review is, I mean, we made predictions.
Yeah.
How right were we?
Yeah. So, I don't think I have that. Like, we'll go back to who we thought.
I'm saying my point is we were mostly right. Come on, we even called Cena's proposal.
Oh yeah, we did call. Yeah, we were correct on a lot of things. Now that I'm thinking about it, like pretty much most of the matches we called, like with Roman Reigns, we said that Roman was going to win. The match against the Undertaker, we called Cena winning and proposing afterwards. We called AJ winning. We called so we got a lot of stuff right.
Yeah, we called Brock.
Yeah, we called Brock. We called what else was going on? We called Seth Rollins.
We called KO.
Yeah, we called KO. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff right. I think the only thing we got wrong was I thought that I don't think either one of us expected Bayley to win the women's match. We thought that she was going to lose and like Sasha was going to turn on her and either Sasha was going to win or Charlotte was going to win, but it wound up being Bayley and it helped cement her. And I think
we overthought that one, but also we didn't know the shakeup was going to be next. Like we didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't know about the shakeup at the time. If we known about the shakeup, we might have gone differently with some of our picks. But like
and I hate being wrong. But at the same time, like, I don't mind being wrong.
Yeah.
You're going to do a last-second tag team ladders match.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the Hardy Boys come out.
Oh my God, that's one of the biggest pops I've ever heard in my life. Like, and even us in my living room, we went nuts because it was just an unexpected. Because like there were rumors that the Hardys were to go, but the Hardys had a ladder match the night before at ROH. So I said, oh okay, there's no way they're coming tonight because they're going to be beat up as hell because that match was crazy. And nope, but here they come because the Hardys are crazy bastards. They decide to do ladder matches on 2 back-to-back nights and looked really impressive in the one for WrestleMania after taking some hella crazy bumps the night before.
Right. I mean, we were both wrong about Samoa Joe. I was right about Finn Balor. You can't, like, it was just not.
Yeah.
I guess we'll talk about it a little later, but I'm still worried about him. I guess we should talk more about the shakeup because overall WrestleMania was a good show. We were surprised that Ambrose and Corbin made it to the pre-show.
Yeah, that was I felt like they were really kind of doing a disservice to Ambrose. Like I get they wanted to get both women's matches on the show, and I think Naomi winning was a really cool moment, like especially in Orlando, and that entrance was fire. But like Ambrose has like done a really good job on SmackDown, and to demote him to the pre-show felt kind of messed up to at least to us. We were kind of surprised by that.
And I really, I think, all right, what do you think? All right, so So Cena and Nikki won, right, which led to the proposal.
Yeah.
But I don't see the harm, or I don't see how the cons outweigh the pros if Miz and Maurice won the match.
Yeah.
I think you could have still had the moment probably would have been even a little better, reminiscent of Macho Man and Elizabeth in 7.
Exactly, and that's where I was going when we had talked about the podcast. When we talked with the WrestleMania preview, and I'd spoken with my beautiful wife Jen about that, and we both had said at the time that we felt it would be better for Miz and Maurice to win. They don't have to win clean, but they're heels. They could win by through some nefarious means and get the win or whatever, and then they leave the ring celebrating their victory, and then John could Cena could have been Miz and Maurice tried to say that I only keep you around. I only care about winning. I don't really care about you, but you're the most important thing in my life, not wrestling, not, the titles. You're the most important thing, and then propose. And that would have been an amazing moment. But I think the moment fell flat, and you even had people in the crowd that were kind of booing it or whatever, because oh, great, Cena wins again, and now he's going to propose to his girlfriend. Oh, everything's great for Cena. I would have rather seen Cena have to eat some crow and lose to the Miz after and especially after he said, oh, I'm going to beat you so easily at WrestleMania. It's not even going to be. He literally said, I'm going to beat you so easily at WrestleMania. I'm barely even going to break a sweat. And then he literally beat him so easily at WrestleMania. He barely broke a sweat. And it just I felt like it completely devalued the Miz. And the Miz is great, so he'll be fine and he'll recover from it. But I'm why would you, kind of squash one of your best performers in the last year when it was unnecessary? He didn't have to lose that match. Cena could have lost that match and it's still been bulletproof.
Right, but here's the thing. Seeing how things are going so far, I don't know if he can recover from it, to be honest with you, because then he debuted on Raw the next week as the first move in the shakeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put him out there just to get played by Dean Ambrose. It wasn't like he got played by somebody on the Raw roster. He got played by somebody who followed him from SmackDown.
Yeah. Well, I think that they're eventually going to put the IC title back on him. I think they realized they made a mistake by taking it off of him and putting it on Ambrose. I think I like Ambrose. I think he should be in the main event picture on Raw now, but I think they realize Miz is a top level heel, and when he had the IC title, it was more prestigious in my eyes, at least. To Dean Ambrose, I don't think he needs the IC title. It's just kind of a prop that he carries along with him. With the Miz, you felt like he had a pride in being the IC title. I'm the Intercontinental Champion. I'm better than you. Whatever. And it made that belt seem more important. And I think WWE realized that, and that's why they're putting him back into a feud with Dean Ambrose so he can get the belt back and bring that kind of feeling back to the belt that was kind of lost when Dean Ambrose got it.
All right, okay, well, if the goal is to put the title back on Miz, then fine.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, see, all right, we're just going to straight up talk about, now that all the shakeups are done.
Yeah.
I feel to me, it looks like clearly the WWE guys, they had some sort of draft board.
Yeah.
And they really see certain people as the same value.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole time, the first day of the shakeup, before we saw who SmackDown got,
yeah,
I thought that some guys, I'm oh, they really value the Miz. They really see Miz as a main eventer.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they made more of the trades, I was oh, they don't see him as a Seth Rollins, AJ Styles level. They see him. They pretty much got traded for Rusev and Lana.
Yeah, pretty much. It was Rusev and Lana for Miz and Maurice.
Which is lower rung.
Yeah.
At least right now. They see Ambrose and KO on the same level somehow. They see AJ and Seth on the same level somehow, and kept them on their branch, which I guess is the right move.
Yeah.
They saw Charlotte and Alexa in the same level.
Mm-hmm.
They saw Atunga and they saw
Well, that was more let's just switch the two black announcers just to say we
pretty
shook
much.
it out
They saw Saxon and Atunga on the same level.
Exactly. No one will notice the difference.
Yeah. There was clearly a method to the madness, and for a second I thought, Raw. Pretty much, it just looked like Raw rated SmackDown. It's pretty much how it looked.
Yeah.
I slept on it and I thought about it, but I'm wait, but at least SmackDown has the better call-ups.
Yeah, SmackDown got Nakamura and Ty Dillinger, and I mean Raw got the Revival, who I think we both agree is probably the best tag team in the world right now. But I mean Nakamura is a friggin' rock star. I think he's going to be still think AJ is going to be the biggest star on the show because AJ still gets an amazing reaction whenever he comes out. But Nakamura is going to be a close second. And Ty Dillinger still has an insane fan base that love him. I mean they love chanting 10 probably more than they love him, but he's still really over.
Right, but Raw took all of SmackDown's top guys pretty much, except AJ.
Mm-hmm.
AJ really did build SmackDown, so keep him there.
Yeah.
But it's not like SmackDown didn't get top guys in return, but they got the guys that literally had nothing left to do on SmackDown. They were done. KO had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, and they got Sami Zayn too, who I think is a big pickup, and I think he'll be.
Charlotte had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, and Charlotte, which I think was I think that's the biggest trade in the whole thing. Like Charlotte is like to go from Raw to SmackDown. I think that's the biggest deal out of everyone that moved brands.
Right, but I think SmackDown got more people that can move up the card. I think SmackDown won from a potential standpoint.
Oh, I mean, hell, we saw that in the second week when Jinder Mahal, of all people, is now your new number one contender to the WWE Championship. So, I mean, the one thing I will give props to SmackDown about is that they are willing to take chances with the new guys they have, and that gives me a lot of hope for like KO and Sami Zayn and Corbin and Rusev and some of the guys that they'll put a guy like Jinder Mahal in the main event scene and have no problem with it.
Right, but else that tells me that they don't really trust Finn Balor, because this dude just straight up literally concussed Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, so Finn, isn't he soft? Hey, you want a world title shot?
Well, I think it's I think that they had plans for him already to be in the world title mix before he concussed Finn, and then they didn't want to change course because they probably already had it all planned out. But I don't think that I think Finn Balor's going to be all right. They just have to put him in a feud already. They have to put him with somebody and get people to care about him. Right now, since he's been back, they just have him beating someone every week, and then that's it, and then he leaves. Some random person, he beats them and goes to the back. We haven't really heard a promo from him. We haven't heard anything from him. It's let the man speak, put him in a feud with somebody, and then people will start caring about him again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm worried about him, man. I've not watched him for 2 weeks, 3 weeks since he's been back. I don't know. I don't think he's a main eventer today. I don't. I think that injury was ill-timed. These fans don't really care about him or know who he is, and he's just so damn little.
Yeah, but
so damn little. But he's not a powerful. He's not a striker. He's not necessarily like Rey Mysterio. I don't know what his thing is.
Well, he has two things. His first.
I don't know what his main event, legitimate, I can beat anybody if you give me the title, you'll believe in me thing is.
Well, he has two things. His first thing is that he can put on great matches if they give him time. So if you put him in a feud with somebody and you let him go for 20 minutes, he's going to have a great match. That's just a given, because in NXT and anytime they put him in a feud with someone and they gave him 20 minutes or more, he put on a fantastic match. So that's his first thing. And the second thing is the demon entrance. He hasn't done that since he's been back. That's the bread and butter right there. That's what really got fans into him. When he came up from Raw and nobody knew him, and he beat Roman Reigns on his first night there, which raised people's eyebrows, and they were like, who the hell is this guy that beats Roman Reigns his first night? And then he came out of SummerSlam with the demon entrance. No, he actually came out the week before, to scare Seth or whatever. That's when people really got into him. So I think once you bring that back, at whatever pay-per-view, basically what they need to do, we're recording this on a Monday before Raw. So what I hope they do tonight on Raw is they put him in a feud with somebody, anybody, to just make us care about him, make him cut a promo, make him do his demon entrance, and he'll be just fine. But if you just continue, just have him go out there every week in the leather jacket, beat some random jamoke, and not say anything, no one's going to care about him.
All right, well, today I don't see myself really caring that much. That's what I've taken from it. So that's one of the few notes I took from the shakeup. I took it from that. I feel like I feel like the people that worked so hard on SmackDown, Miz especially, to reestablish themselves and move up, they've now gone to Raw and they can't move up.
Yeah, exactly. That, like, I don't know why they moved Miz to Raw. I didn't agree with that move because I thought he was really shining well on SmackDown. I mean, Talking Smack was really Miz's show. Like, I mean, if you really want to, like, anytime, like, I looked forward to Miz being on Talking Smack. Like, he owned that show, and now to know that he's not going to be on that show anymore is kind of a bummer. Like, I felt like he really found his niche on SmackDown, and he was on his way to being in the main event, and now he has to start all over again on Raw. And there's a lot more competition and stuff on Raw than on SmackDown, where he's kind of able to spread his wings. So I'm a little worried about Miz on Raw, but I am, like, a fan of his, and I think that he has a ton of talent. So I think that he'll rise above it, but it's definitely going to be a hard task.
Right. I mean, the only person that I think that moved to Raw that might be able to have a better run on Raw than they did on SmackDown might be Bray Wyatt. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But he's the only one. He's the only character that can, like, write his own ticket. Like, it doesn't matter the brand. Like, his thing works and it'll carry over.
Yeah, I what I'm hoping with Bray is, like, because Brock has the Universal title now. I'm hoping that with Bray, they finally, like, present him as the main eventer he should be. They were on that path until that weird ass WrestleMania match, and then they have him lose to Randy, which, like, like reports say that was kind of Randy's reward for getting his head split open by Brock at SummerSlam. So it's like, I mean, that's great, but now you've kind of devalued Bray. Like, you have him win the title and then he loses it a month later to Randy at WrestleMania. It's like, I want to see a prolonged title reign for Bray, and I want to see him in a real feud with Brock Lesnar. Like, they had, like, a mini feud like a couple of years ago, but it was pretty much just Brock beating up Bray's minions, and that was it. Like, I want to see, like, a real match between Brock and Bray where Bray does his freaky weird stuff and see how Brock reacts to it. I think that would be, like, a cool, like, little program.
Right. And for those of you who might be upset that Brock is champion again and really don't understand, like, how this works or how they value people, let me shed a little bit of light on this. So, you know how Forbes, they I don't know, I guess they have the carte blanche to just tell the public at large how much money these guys make. Right. So if you're wondering why they value someone like Dean Ambrose so much, is because 2015 he was the 10th highest paid guy on the entire roster.
Yeah.
Making over $1 million, 1.1. They just released the 2016. So Dean Ambrose moved up all the way to number 5.
Yeah.
2.7 mil.
Nice.
You're really wondering about, damn, AJ had one of the best first years you could have. Yeah, because AJ was number 6.
Yep.
2.4 mil. Dude probably made more money this 1 year than he's made probably the last 3-4 years combined.
Exactly.
Number 7, Shane McMahon.
Yes. Very nice to be Shane.
Yeah, I'll just tell you top 10 right now. Number 10, Randy Orton. Undertaker and Seth Rollins tied for 8th.
Wow. I mean,
Shane, 6 AJ, 5 Dean Ambrose, 4 Roman Reigns, 3.5 mil, 3 Triple H, 2 John Cena, only 8 mil. Yeah, I said only 8 mil for John Cena. And number 1 with $12 million for his 2016, Brock Lesnar.
Wow. Amazing. That guy, like, I mean, he plays the game very well. Right. Like, wrestle, like, 5-6 matches a year and get $12 million. That's not a bad gig.
Yep. Yeah, just to give you a little bit of perspective, just a little.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I'm not one of the people that have a problem with Brock being Universal Champion because, like, Brock, he's a special attraction. That's his whole deal. And Raw has more than enough people to keep it entertaining where Brock doesn't have to be there all the time. I mean, if you want to get into the logistics of it, like, because people complain, like, they stripped Naomi of her title at the time because they say, a title has to be defended every 30 days. And Brock pretty much just, when he was WWE champion, he would defend his title whenever he wanted to. It could be like 2-3 months in between. But, I mean, Brock, he's just a special case. And, I mean, they could easily explain it logistically. Like, Paul Heyman is his representative. He could have worked out a contract where like, you know, he doesn't have to defend it every 30 days. I mean, it's very easy to do storyline wise. Like, so I don't have a problem with Brock being the champion. And I think that it makes, like, what I want to see though is I want to see like guys who are striving to, you know, challenge Brock. Like, I want to see like, you know, people who want to face Brock, not where like everyone on the roster is like scared of him. I want to see guys that like step up and want that challenge. And like, you know, Brock runs through some of them, and then at SummerSlam he meets someone who eventually takes him down. I mean, I think that would be a good storyline.
Right, but who is that guy going to be? See, I'll admit, I was surprised, and I loved Braun taking out Roman.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But where are they going with Roman? Are they pretty much saying like, man, the heat is too hot on you right now, man? We don't know what to do about it. Just be out.
I really don't know what they're doing with Roman. I thought, like, the night after WrestleMania, I thought for sure that they were on their way to turning him heel. When he came out to the ring, and I've never seen anything like that, and they're booing him for 10 minutes straight. Literally 10 minutes straight. Not like, it felt like 10 minutes. No, it was literally 10 minutes of just the crowd booing someone so bad that they couldn't get a word out. And then for him to just say, this is my yard now, and then drop the mic, I was like, oh, that cements it. He's going to be a badass now. He's not going to give a damn about anybody. But then they immediately have Braun attack him and then like kind of take away from that moment. So it just like I just didn't understand why they would like kind of go that route when it seemed like they were going a different direction with Roman, but now he's back in the sympathetic babyface mode, or at least what they want, since, you know, Braun basically tried to kill him by like throwing over an ambulance that he was inside.
Not buying it though. Like Roman, like I really thought they were on the right track when he came out and he got booed for 11 minutes.
Yeah.
The night after the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The crowd was there. They literally booed him for over. It was a 13-minute segment.
Yeah.
All he did was come down to the ring, get booed, watch him take merciless different chants that they're making up on the spot.
Yeah.
They hate him. Just for him to say, it's my yard now, and then drop the mic. That was perfect.
Yes, it was. Exactly. That's why I said that was a perfect moment. And then I thought they were just going to lead to, you know, Roman being a badass, and where other people try to challenge him to take over his yard or whatever you want to call it, and he just like runs through everybody. I thought that's where they were going to go, but then they have Braun attack him and like practically kill him, and then he's off TV for a couple of weeks. And I'm just like, what was the sense of that? So I don't know if they're trying to go towards building up Braun as being Brock's next challenger, which I am super intrigued by. I would love to see that matchup, because they've done one thing that WWE had done very well is build up Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman went from like, you know, minimal factor in the Wyatt family to now probably being one of the most entertaining parts of Raw.
Oh yeah, and also for those people who are wondering, because man, why did Neville get traded? They deserve more like that, because you can't move the cruiserweight division. You can't move the SmackDown, because SmackDown's only 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. No, the cruiserweights have to stay where they are on Raw. It just makes sense. There's not enough time on SmackDown, and I think it's needed on Raw, like to have those cruiserweights, because they don't have enough. They don't have enough people to fill 3 hours. They don't. The cruiserweights is really a gift to Raw, because I think people forget those Raws before the cruiserweights came about. Those 3 hours dragged like hell. Like, so at least you get a little bit of cruiserweight action in between to kind of wake you up sometimes, like in the 10 o'clock spot. But I think ultimately where they're going with Brock and Roman, I think that they're heading for a collision like between the two of them, and most likely Roman is going to come up on top, because if you remember in their first meeting, Roman didn't beat him because Seth interfered, and and then he won the title. So I think they're going to have a straight up one-on-one rematch, Brock, Roman, and Roman comes out on top this time.
Yeah, probably. And just to give this guy even more props, I mean, like, I feel like this guy should be already is a legend now, and he'll be a legend for longer. Well, two people. One, shouts to Big Show.
Oh yeah.
He just, man, like I still think his first match with Strowman was better because nobody saw it coming.
Yeah.
But I think they still like try to find a way to reward Show, yet Show is still a company team player.
Yeah.
So that, of all the broken ring spots they've ever done, I don't think I'm being a prisoner of the moment here. Was this one not the best one? And I think this is the best one because the ref.
Yes, because the ref, I literally thought the ref like got killed. He like flew out of the ring, like because with all the other ones, like the ref like kind of just falls down in the ring and just has this shocked expression on his face. But with this one, the ref literally got flung from the ring, and it just made for an insane visual.
Usually, check out the other spots. Like the ref, like just he looks like he got shot by Cupid in a bow and arrow, and he just poetically falls.
Exactly, and just like looks wide-eyed, like, oh wow, what just happened? But with this
if you look at this one,
oh my god,
he just went straight up splat.
Yes, he flew out the ring. It was amazing.
Right, so I think that was amazing. So yeah, shout outs to him. Shout outs to Kane.
Yeah.
Running for office.
Yes.
Like running for mayor. I dig it. Go ahead, Glenn Jacobs.
Exactly. I like that he embraces his wrestling side in some of his commercials and promos. Like, some people would try to run away from that. Not Kane. He's like, I'm going to fully embrace my wrestling past, and I'm going to still get you to vote for me.
Right. And also, the guy that I really, really, really want to shout out, because also so I gave you the top 10 highest paid WWE wrestlers of 2016.
Yeah.
Now, if I go through 2015, right, like I said Ambrose is 10. And just to show you how much a difference is made in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 10 is Dean. 9 was Kane.
Yeah.
8 was Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
7, Undertaker. Sorry, this is leading to an ultimate point. Yeah, 6 was Roman, which means Roman. 5 was Seth.
Yeah.
All right. So how Seth was tied for 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 2015, he was right. He was 5th. 4 was Randy. When this year he was 10.
Yeah.
3 is still Triple H. 2 was Brock at $6 million.
Mm-hmm.
So 2016 he was number 1 with $12 million. Number 2 he was the year before with $6 million, and the year before in 2015 John Cena was number 1 with 9.5.
Yeah.
So Brock made 12. But on both these lists, you know who's not there?
Who?
Jericho.
Oh yeah, which is crazy when you think about it.
Right, which makes me respect Jericho that much more.
Yeah, he's clearly doing it for the love
and for the fans.
Yeah,
really the main reason he's doing it.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible, because he is literally, besides the New Day, he was probably the most over act on Raw in 2016. So for him to not be in the top 10 is kind of incredible.
Yeah, in 2015 or 16, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, man. I'm telling you, that's a real cool guy.
Yeah, definitely. So, but before we get out of here, do you have any final thoughts on, WrestleMania, the Superstar shakeup, any of the call-ups, or anything else that's been going on in this crazy world of wrestling the last couple of weeks?
No, man, we gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. We gotta see how it plays out. Because, hey, worst comes to worst, there's always Southpaw Regional.
Yeah, exactly. I finally checked out the first episode. I'm going to finish the rest this week. So by the next podcast, I'll have a full, detailed report on Southpaw Wrestling.
All right, cool. Oh yeah, one more thing. I do like New Day going to SmackDown.
Yeah, I like that move. I think that they needed a change of scenery, and I do like that they're keeping them off until Kofi, because Kofi had the ankle injury, until Kofi gets better, because it's not the same without the three of them. So I think that it's a smart move. It kind of makes people miss them, so when they come back, they'll be fresher, and it gives them new teams to go up against, because they literally face every team on Raw 3 times. So
and free Big E.
Yeah, exactly. I know you're ready for New Day to be done, just so Big E could be a main eventer, which he should be. What I'm hoping they do in this iteration of New Day is keep Kofi and Xavier as a tag team, and finally let Big E be in the singles. I don't think they need to split up New Day, but I want to see Big E in some singles competition, because I think he could be a big star for them if they let him.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think SmackDown has the most growth potential. I think Big E could be world champ there. Rusev Rusev could be world champ there.
Exactly, and that's what I like about SmackDown. It's the unpredictability of it. I feel like anybody can be world champion there. Like I mean, when AJ was put on SmackDown, people were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if AJ was the champion? But it probably won't happen. And within a couple of months, he was a champion. Like they've shown that if you on SmackDown, I think they've shown if you get over, we will put the belt on you. We don't care like who you are. If you get over, I mean, friggin' Heath Slater and Rhino, they took them like just as a throwaway, but then they got really over with the crowd, and they made them the first tag team champions on SmackDown. Because so I think SmackDown has shown if you get over with the crowd, we will put a belt on you. We will make you a main eventer.
Right. I think Zayn could be a champion over there.
Yeah.
Corbin could be a champion over there.
Yeah, like I think that's probably where they're going to go next with Randy, like after he finishes the feud with Jinder Mahal, because even though they're probably going to hinder Jinder again and not give him the championship. So I think his next feud most likely is going to be against Corbin, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I think Corbin's been really impressive in the ring lately, and I think he could have a good match and a good rivalry with Randy.
Yeah. I don't know if Mojo can win a championship, but Mojo can grow.
Yeah, I think Mojo can win a U.S. title. Like, I don't think he's going to win the title, the WWE title, but I think Mojo can be in that mid card. Like, people are starting to react to him more. I still don't think he should have won the Andre Battle Royal. I think that they kind of did that just to get that Gronk publicity. But I'm not mad at Mojo. Hey, man, like, you use your connections to your advantage. I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, and my 2 wild cards, one for each brand. Mm-hmm. So my SmackDown wild card is Aiden English.
Okay.
Because he's going back to his old NXT gimmick before the Vaudevillains because they fired Gotch.
Yeah.
That hurts. Because according to all dirt sheets, Gotch was a douche.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, how are you a douche when you're like the lowest of the lowest card? Like, you should be as nice to everyone as possible.
Right. But Aiden English has talent. First of all, he's got a build. He's got a look, and he has musical theater training. He was a musical theater performer before that, so the dude could really sing.
Exactly, and I liked his gimmick in NXT before the Vaudevillains, the artiste thing. I thought that was great. He comes down to the ring, he sings, and then he kicks your ass. It was pretty great.
Right, and he's a Guerrero by marriage.
Yeah.
So shout to him. But also the guy who I'm pulling for the most, Raw, Apollo Crews.
Yes.
Please get him right.
Yes, exactly. The dude has too much talent for them to not be using him. Like, they need to do something with him. Put him in a storyline, turn him heel, do something. Just make people care about him. Like, I'm tired of seeing Apollo Crews on these one-off matches, and then you don't see him again for 2 or 3 weeks. Put him in a feud, make people care about him. The dude has so much talent, he will get over, but you got to put him on TV for him to get over.
Yeah, but they're trying to put him with Titus O'Neil.
Oh, God, which is just like the worst thing. I hope that this whole thing with Titus is like either leading to them being like a tag team where they're able to, and they actually use them properly and just have Apollo pretty much carry the weight and let Titus work on the because Titus, he fumbles a lot and whatever, but he is entertaining in doses. So like either put him with somebody that's going to be entertaining or move him on to another feud. Like they need to do something with Apollo. He's too talented to just be sitting on the sidelines.
Right, man. So that's what I'm saying. Like really work on these guys. But like I said, if you have a problem with these guys, man, I'm telling you, I just gave you the top 10 list of these guys. Jericho's not there. Miz is not there.
Yeah.
And I can't think of 2 harder workers for the company than those 2 guys.
Exactly. So. Yeah, I mean, it shows where their priorities are. So you can't fault them for putting the title on Brock when he's the highest paid person in the company. Like it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, with that, man, we covered a lot of bases today. We went through, NBA playoffs, went through the Superstar Shakeup, WrestleMania 33. And, I think we covered a lot of stuff this week. Next week, we'll get a little bit more into this, and we'll probably find some other stuff to talk about. So, for GK, I'm Julian. Bring us out, GK.
That's right. Till next time, y'all. And check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. We're on YouTube now, right?
Yeah, man. We're up on YouTube. Check out our page, Julian and G.K. on YouTube.
That's right. So until next time, thanks again, y'all. Jamaican Alpha. Out.